Good morning. Good morning. I should probably test a few things. Is that working? There we go. Now you should be able to hear me. Good morning. I am John Halcyon, and it is morning time. It is. I'm like 8 minutes late to begin today, so thanks for your patience and understanding. I woke up a few minutes ago. I stayed up late because filled with inspiration and I was rattling away with projects and why is that not focusing? Let's try that again. Okay. But that's always fun. Always super fun. And I am filled with gratitude. Yesterday was such a good day. Lisa and I had some really beautiful quality time together. She wrote a little song and played it for me that is just incredible. Her on that Shruti box and singing just like a mantra. And it's so beautiful. So grateful for all of her gifts and how I get to experience them. Grateful for, I had a big creative rush of projects that I was working on they're called micro audience projects. Like I made something for the people at the retreat I went to. So it's not something I can share with you, but I made a song and tweaked the song and then made AI graphics and animated them a little bit. It was like a lot of effort for something that's not going to be shared, but it was, I love that. My family's always been big on micro audiences, like making an art project for one person, especially my brother. Like someone's birthday, their family, they'll decorate the house with like photoshopped pictures of the birthday person's face onto whatever they're into, like Carter's face on top of a bunch of famous sports photographs. Like a lot of work to be really appreciated by audience of one. I think there's something really magic about that. So if you're here, say hello. Good morning, Gerbot. Good morning, Brandy. Brandy says, love first. I'm just grateful that I got myself to come back to share in this gratitude and love. I missed you all. I'm so glad you're here. I'm feeling a little self-conscious about my hair and beard since I just got out of bed, but I am grateful that I got a little trim of the beard this weekend, so I'm feeling quite stylish. Happy you're here, Brandy. Happy to see you, Gerbot. And I'm grateful. I spent some work yesterday getting ready for the men's group this weekend. We had a full house, sold out. And so there's some organizing and some preparing and some planning. Had a number of phone calls with people to talk about, life. I talked a lot with my brother yesterday, a few other people. Visited my friend Brandon, grateful for that. And grateful that Brandon is organizing a men's night in the next month. We used to have these gatherings about twice a year of a group of friends that have known each other everywhere from 50 to 25 years. The new kid in the group is we've known 25 years, and so it's always so wonderful to get together and have a boys' night. And we haven't done it for a number of years, maybe pre-COVID. So it's awesome to be returning to celebrate our friendships. Brandy says, I'm grateful that kind of party has never been thrown for me. Man, you're always beautiful. Oh, thanks. I did, because of the weather in San Diego, it's blustery right now, and me waking up when I did, I don't normally get a chance to wear coats, and I'm wearing one of my fun new Paddington Bear fuzzy coats that I really like, but it's almost always too cold. So I just look at the coloring with my beard and hair. It looks so good with beige right now. if you're a beige clothing maker, I am your target demo right now. Brandy is wicked grateful that the temperature outside has finally gotten warm enough to have the windows open through the day. Nice. In Connecticut. Connecticut, home of Asher, who I'm still grateful for the fun video call that I had recently where he was showing me his blooming amaryllis. My amaryllis, not quite blooming yet. Not even close. But it's alive, I can tell that. It's taking its sweet time. Anyone else want to share some gratitude today? I'm grateful that I finally got Janus's picture on the wall. So I got my hosts from the past. Janus Stay Sparked co-host and Grandpa Caleb Hug Nation co-host, continuing to look over and smile and inspire me. Good morning, Zoe. Happy hump day to you. Boo-boo. And I have a list of all things I want to do today. I wonder if there's things that are irrelevant. Oh, work on my taxes. That's exciting. Got to work on the men's group stuff. I'm going to record a little something for a regional burn. That's, I think, East Coast or Midwest. And they invited me out. And I said, or if you want to just record this little video, we can play it while you're there. And I'm like, that's great. I would love to record something about Burning Man. Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that travel. I'm grateful that my Monstero plant in the other room has got 2 new leaves. They're big and with the serrated. They've got the lines in them. So they're the big, healthy leaves that are coming out, which is that's a sign that it's healthy. This one's not doing quite so good. It's got a new leaf, but it's got like black on it. I'm thinking that I need to maybe repot this guy. I think it's too wet down there. I think the roots are struggling. I'm grateful that I got my car back. There was a piece of plastic in the door thing that I never would have known that it wasn't there, but they told me in December. Oh, yeah, we got one more thing to put in there, so we'll call you when we have the part, and it's now. Well, I got it put in yesterday. Took a bunch of phone calls for me to be like, hey, about that thing. But I'm grateful that it's done. Carolyn, good morning. Carolyn, I am so grateful that my 5-pound Pomeranian is still alive. He broke his neck, but he's still fighting to be here. Woo! Oh. Adversity shines a light on gratitude, doesn't it? If you let it, or if you practice it. Glad to hear he's still fighting. Pikachu is in our thoughts. Anyone else want to share something they're feeling grateful for? Good morning, Andrew. I am grateful that even though I liked these glasses, I'm taking them back. I already have a pair of red sunglasses, and I think that the number of times that I don't wear sunglasses often at all. I almost always wear clear glasses. But I thought it'd be fun to get some more that are progressive, so reading glasses at the bottom. So, I mean, I don't hate them, but the tint, I don't think I'm going to wear them. I don't really, so I'm getting these replaced with no tint, just these frames with no tint as another one of my backup pairs of glasses or accessories, Since I wear glasses so often, it's nice to have options. It's funny. I was wondering, like, now that I look neutral, should I go back to like my original? These are my original glasses. Was brown and normal, and now I'm like, those don't look bad. I could do that, but it's also not fun. These are the other new ones I got that I'm keeping. Yeah. Oh yay. Brandy's grateful that Cheetos now has both protein and veggie versions. Oh, Cheerios. When you said protein and veggie, I was thinking like one had meat and one did not. But I'm assuming that's the protein is not like Cheerios and little frosted sausages. I think if I have them here, you can see I do have. I mean, like I think I like these glasses. These have the tint. I think these are fun. But because I think these are fun, the chance of me wearing a second pair of pink tinted sunglasses prescription is pretty small. Now those are not progressive, so those are not reading glasses. These ones, however, do. These ones are distance and reading glasses. So which I need this style when I'm driving so that I can see far away and also see the controls in the car or the map or GPS. It's nice. I didn't plan on doing a fashion show. Dun 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 dun. The Yes glasses where I got the glasses from they're really great. Like if you don't like it for any reason, you don't like the way they look, we'll exchange them. Just tell us what you want, which is helpful when you're buying stuff on that you haven't tried on. But I did. Wait, what? Bought the glass. Oh, I also. Recently, I decided to order a nice hat, but I didn't get a really nice hat. I mean, there's the hat that I wanted was like almost $1,000, and so I was like, I don't even know if I'll wear it. So I found a site that had some cheap versions of like big cowboy and a big what do they call it? A different type of hat that I just wanted to see how it looked. But it's been a month and I just got a notification that it is shipping, and I didn't realize it was shipping from China. They never give an indication like that. So like I've been having little bursts of Christmas morning presents opening as the mail comes. But no, I think I got another almost month before I get my funky hats. Carolyn says, white frame glasses for the win. Good morning, Brent. And the iridescentness that you like. You mean of the ones that are, the red tinted ones. I think that's what, I mean, they're kind of clear, but it's big chunky clear, which I think that will look good with my coloring. We will see. Good morning, Juan. Good morning, Tara. Good morning. Who has got something to be grateful for? Something some wonderful thing or something you just took for granted. I'm grateful that I had a beautiful talk with my cousin, and grateful for the rain that we had yesterday. It was so nice to be sitting inside, holding my beloved and hearing the rain outside. A rainy day is so much different in a house that has got all these mirrors that overlook a canyon. It just feels like you're in it instead of, it's just everything about it is more beautiful and visceral than being in a condominium where Worst case scenario, water leaks in from someplace. Best case scenario, the cement outside is wet, but there's no trees getting watered. Whereas now it feels like it's raining, and it feels like from acres all around, the plants are having a little shower time boogie. Tara says, I'm grateful John is making me breakfast. For a minute there, I said, what did I promise to do? Oh, you're John. That makes way more sense and is much more romantic and beautiful. I love hearing stories of generosity within relationships. In fact, last night, I had offered to make dinner while I made a phone call, and then Lisa's like, no, I'll make it while you do the phone call. I'm like, and I know that she's saying it because she means it. Like, she'd be happy to. And so I'm like, okay. And then after dinner, I had this creative project. So I was in the middle of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do the dishes later. And later, because the timing was, because the daylight savings, we didn't eat until like 8 o'clock. So when I looked up from my project, it was like 11. And she's like, I did all but 2 of the dishes, so don't worry about it. And I was like, man. I had this moment of, oh, I fucked up. Now I'm in the hole. Like in the grand scorecard of our relationship, I lost points. But I know that's not how it is. We're always, in the same way that I woke up in the middle of the night, or before I went to bed last night at 3:30 in the morning, I went to go check and see if there were any mice or rats in the traps downstairs. That was my way of not out of like, oh, I have to do this, but that's something I want to make sure I take care of that before Lisa comes upon a dead animal. And I enjoy that generosity, enjoy the gifting. Aloha, Etoile. It is so wonderful to have you here. Good morning. Twal says, I'm excited I might get to meet Sean tomorrow before he goes on an awesome hike. I've met you, Carla, Mingle, and now maybe Sean. Man, Sean is like a patient zero to a love disease. He has touched many people who are profoundly beautiful hug ambassadors. I hope you guys get to meet. Juan shares that I'm grateful to go to the airport and pick up my sister. I don't like driving through Mexico, but she needs to attend Mom's 91st birthday party. That's some serious family gathering. Have a blast. I am grateful that I get a chance to drive. We had a long drive a couple nights ago, and we're driving back up to Santa Barbara Thursday night. And so I can do the men's group this weekend. So I'm grateful for functional cars, and especially I'm really grateful for my new car, new to me, that I got last year. It's, there are a lot of reasons why having a newer car makes your life better. It's not just status. It's not just to be cool. It's dependable. It's got safety features. It's got convenience features. So I'm with my newish car, new home, newish relationship, newish facial hair and coloring and outfits. I'm really loving this chapter. Thanks for the encouragement and support. I had so many talks over the weekend of the power of community. When people come to a retreat for a weekend and you have active activities to share and talk, it's incredible how quickly people that were strangers can become friends maybe not friends that you are going to hang out with and go to ball games with, but friends that you trust enough to help with your growth. That as you share something scary, something vulnerable, some fear, some anxiety, some stumble, some embarrassment, some frustration with yourself, that as you share those things, the critical ingredient to turning that raw place into a fertile place for growth is having community that holds you and not just says, but really makes you feel that they are grateful, they are honored to get to see the truth of you, because the truth of you, whatever it is more beautiful than the most polished, manufactured facade that you could ever present to the world. And if you really feel that, and you can only really feel that in community, it allows the sparkly inspirations to take root and grow and change you in a positive way. Any other gratitudes? I know I started late. I'm grateful for a challenging experience that I had yesterday. I have 2 new coaching clients, but I believe one of them it may just be a one-off. We hit a point of contention, a disagreement on a fundamental understanding of what is acceptable behavior in certain situations and what defines consent, what requires consent and what doesn't. And unless they are actively looking to address that within themselves and get to the root of why their idea of what the way the culture should be and is would like to get in alignment with culture, then we can work together. If they want to continue discussing why they're frustrated that our culture is not more thinking along the lanes that they are, it's going to be a real clear, I don't think this will be a productive relationship. So I'm grateful that I had Lisa's guidance afterwards to kind of help me see that and help me deal with that. It was, I like to leave a coaching client call feeling like both of us are inspired by one another. Both of us are reminded of the genius we have inside and the trust of the divine and are just feeling more motivated from an internal following our joy place to do things. And and I'm glad that there's a part of me that feels like the old part of me, that's counting my allowance money, saying like, do whatever the boss says, and I don't have to do that. So it's a good place to be. I just get to remind myself, which is another purpose for these love mornings, is to really remember who do you want to be, so that when the situations come up, whatever old fears about, well, what about, you should always make as much money as possible. It's kind of like my parental narrative. Like always go for a raise, always apply for the higher paying, always do what you can to climb the ladder and take on another client, grow, make more whenever possible. And so I'm grateful that I have resources like Lisa and talk to another friend just to remind me that that's not, that narrative it has been very helpful in the past, allowed me to persevere through things that I didn't want to do. But with a limited amount of time, it does not make sense for me to trade my precious time to work with people that I don't believe will be receptive to what I have to share. Not that what I have to share is like, I have the wisdom, let me give it to you. But I do have the wisdom to say, like, I'm noticing that the way you're thinking about this is counter to what I believe you're going to experience when you start sharing this with the world. So can I steer you in a direction that might be more in line with what other people are thinking and doing? Could we clarify what's your intention, and then maybe I can help you to massage it so that you can find more allies and don't find yourself being ostracized and potentially canceled because you're fighting so hard for this perspective that has been clearly defined by Burning Man culture and by the culture at large. So I'm grateful for that experience of being stretched and growing and having to figure out who I am in uncomfortable situations. Good morning, Chris. Chris says, grateful for the technology to be able to book travel arrangements with just my phone, rental cars, hotels, airline tickets, travel times. Amazing. And I hear that by the next year, you'll be able to go hit your phone and go, and it will turn into an actual car. Maybe that was a movie I saw. In any case, technology is amazing. And I'm looking forward to seeing you, Christopher. So is Ishmael. We're going through our list of people, and he was asking me about how I knew different people. So, I think you'll love Ishmael. He teaches me a lot. He walks the walk that I try to walk, which is do your best. Know that you're going to always be doing things that you're either consciously or unconsciously aware that are not in alignment with your best. So as people can help you see that, you can correct. I gave him some feedback about something that I've witnessed him do in the past. That I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but there's something you do this thing when you come back into the room, and I think it's kind of distracting. And he was like, "That's really helpful." You know, I, in my mind, by doing that when I returned to the room, I was letting people know that, don't worry, I'm in control. And I'm like, that may be true, but I think you can trust that the other people in the room have it under control. And sometimes your contribution at that time is not bad. It just pulls focus from the flow of what's happening in that moment. And I think that the participants and those people who were kind of leading the thing in that moment would benefit from you just letting it happen. That's a pretty vague and not entirely accurate description, but he's the kind of person who is like, great, okay, that's super helpful, you know. And he tried to explain what his reasoning, and I got to talk it through. I should also say that I started that conversation after we had talked a while, and then I said, "Are you open to some constructive criticism and feedback? Because I want to ask consent. Are you in a space?" I even said, like, are you feeling resourced enough to hear some suggestions? You know, and because it's really important if somebody asks you that, you got to answer honestly. You can say like, not right now. And actually, later in the day, he called while I was on a Zoom meeting. It was a Zoom meeting about grief for Janus, and I turned off my camera and muted, and I got the phone because we've got a lot going on this week. And he said, "Are you free to? Can we talk a little bit about what's going on next week?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And as we started talking, I said, "You know what? Actually, I should get back into that Zoom meeting. Can we do this tomorrow?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. What time?" We picked a time, but I have a desire to people please. And so old me would have had that call, would have been a part of my brain would have been feeling guilty that I just dropped out of this call that people wanted me to be on. A part of me would be frustrated with myself that I didn't do the research that I wanted to have done before I talked to him about this. And a part of me would be frustrated that I didn't say what I meant, that I people pleased. So there's all these distraction, non-beneficial thought loops that I was bringing into this call that was intended to be productive and utilizing the energy and excitement about the event coming up, because we'd already talked earlier once. And so I said, actually, I take that back. I'm not available to talk right now. And that's important. We have to, consent requires both sides to communicate. Like a no is a gift. If you've ever been like at a play party or a cuddle party, they will often teach you and practice with somebody. Say, ask for something. Person one, ask for something. Person two, say no. And you practice how to say it in like, hey, I'd love to rub your shoulders. And the person says, no, that doesn't sound good to me right now, but I'm okay if you want to rub my calves, or I'd be okay with a hug. And the first person says, thank you so much for standing up for your boundaries and being clear about your needs. Yes, let's rub those thighs. Or I actually am really feeling like giving someone a back rub, so let's talk later. Ta-da, consent. No one is not saying the thing that they're thinking, and so getting trapped in a situation where they're lying to the other person. The other person is then going, hey, I'm loving this back rub. And they are too, man. They must be loving this back rub, because they have no idea, because you didn't say it, that they don't really want this back rub. All right, I'm getting a little... It wasn't intended to be a consent workshop, but shouldn't everything be a consent workshop? Any last gratitudes? I had the person I talked to yesterday was getting into street art and stencil art, and so I took off the wall. I have this in the other room. This is old Burning Man campmate Star made this Jesus rocking out in his headphones stencil, and it's on it's like sheet music and German newspaper. I just love it. I was gonna say it's the only religious iconography, but that's totally not true. We got Buddhas all over the house, and I've got a Lakshmi, and I even have my grandpa's praying hands on the wall. So lots of religious imagery in this home. All right, well, with that, let's celebrate a personal kind of religion, a religion of community and connection, a feeling of being in this congregation together of love ambassadors. And like so many traditions, we have rituals, and our closing ritual is to hug one another through the airwaves. So wherever you are, give yourself a hug. Feel yourself being embraced. You are the symbolic representative of the whole. So as you are hugging yourself, you are doing it on behalf of all of us. And as you're being hugged, those arms are also representing all of us, including the people that are going to watch this recording later. Celebrating our gratitude, recognizing that there's always cone to celebrate, recognizing that it is about finding the balance between crap and cone. It's about understanding that crap eventually turns to fertilizer, about knowing that you never quite have a vantage point of what is good or bad along the way. So act in integrity and trust. Take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you beautiful ambassadors of love, thanks for being here. I love you. Happy Hump Day! Do 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 do.